Delem, a guy who played with you at S2 last year, started recently for the first team. How would you assess his performance so far training with the first team?
Well, I thought he did well, especially his first time out in a real game with those guys. I thought him and Roldan played really well together in the midfield. Jordy's a player that we recruited him as a center mid, but last year for S2. Because of lack of depth there, we had to play him at center back. But he showed in preseason as well as Saturday night in the game that he's comfortable playing the 6, the 8, somewhere in the midfield. So I think I think you could see on the first tackle of the game he's a pretty good tackler. Sometimes maybe a little too aggressive, but he's a very fierce competitor, and you need that in your midfield. He's someone that he's in the vein of Ozzy as far as his tenaciousness, his tenacity. He's nowhere close to Ozzy, obviously. I mean, Ozzy's a seasoned veteran and has been very good for a long time. But we see him as someone that has similar kind of qualities and stuff. Now we just gotta get him some time with the guys so he gets more comfortable with it and working some things offensively, and I think he'll fit in really well. But we still have a couple more games down here for him to show if he belongs with the first team or not.
Are there any other young guys who have really impressed you so far in camp?
Well, I think all of them. We've brought out some academy kids just to give them experience, and they've done well. We have Sam Rogers and Jake Morris still with us, and those guys, I thought, came in and played well. They've been playing well in training, and that's why they made this phase of preseason down to Charleston, because we thought that they were doing well enough in Tucson and stuff like that, and at home in Seattle. They'll get chances again tomorrow to play, like I said, and we have a game against a college team on Sunday where they'll get chances to play. And I think if these guys keep improving, it's good for the club. It's good for the organization. It's definitely good for S2. For me, it's good to have guys who've had that first team experience in preseason, who are comfortable once the season starts, and because they're going to be playing against 30-year-old men in some games in USL and stuff like that. So it's good exposure for them, good experience for the young kids, and they've responded well when put in certain situations. Zach Matters also is another guy who played with us last year, who played on Saturday night, came in. I thought he did well. He's going to get to start tomorrow night, so it's good. It's interesting. It's good. It's very competitive situation. We've been playing Nana Sinkham at right back. He played center back in college, but he's been getting some time at right back, and he's also improving. So that it's been good for the young guys in camp so far.
Okay, Ezra, just a quick one for me. As you look at the totality of preseason and Tucson and Charleston as the S2 head coach and all of your experience and familiarity with the first team setup, how valuable is it for you to be able to evaluate the totality of that player pool, from the unsigned draft picks you mentioned to academy and first team guys that very well and will slot in with you at S2?
Well, it's very important for me, and I think that's one of the reasons why Spetzer wanted me to be here, because a lot of these guys, if they don't get to sign a first team contract, we hope that they sign with us at S2. Obviously, the academy kids will play S2. They're our products, so to speak. Delem and Matters and guys like that who haven't been drafted, we hope they stick around and be a part of the club. If they don't make the first team, we don't know. We still have another week or so to evaluate these guys, and the first team will make that decision. Obviously, these are guys, if they don't make first team, I'll definitely want on the roster. Along with Nana Sinkham and stuff. So, it was good for me to come here and get firsthand. I saw some guys in Tucson, and now I'm seeing the guys who are held over for this phase of the preseason. So it gives me an idea of, what I maybe have coming to me, and what we at S2 might need to add or may need to look for. We have some guys coming in next week. We have a pretty set roster with the academy and the guys we've signed already, who are away with their U20s. But there are 2 or 3 spots that we still need to fill, so we'll bring in about 10 guys and try to fill those spots starting next week. But I think it was a good experience for me to come here and see the guys and get to know them, the ones who I don't really know that well, a little better. So it's good all around.